Some days Fox News runs like clockwork. Other days it goes off the rails. Live. On air, tempers flare, voices crack, and control slips. Jeanine Pirro exploded. Mid-rant. Geraldo Rivera stormed off. Set. Sean Hannity and Eric Bolling turned debates into shouting matches in seconds. Cameras kept rolling while producers scrambled. These moments weren't planned, and that's why people couldn't look away. These are the Fox News hosts who lost control on live TV. In the days after the 2017 Charlottesville rally, where a bad person drove a car into a crowd, causing a sad death for Heather Heyer and bad hurts for others, everyone in the country talked about President Trump's words on what happened. Right in the middle was Melissa Francis, who got really upset on TV while talking about the scary event, the rally, put on by mean groups against taking down an old statue from the Civil War, started big talks about race, bad ideas, and leaders all over the land. On Outnumbered, Fox News host Melissa Francis tried to stick up for President Trump's words, like how he said there were good folks on both sides of the Charlottesville mess. Francis said Trump never put the same blame on everyone and meant he didn't like the mean groups. As you can guess, her co-hosts jumped in fast, and it led to a fight that made her lose her cool. As the talk went on, Francis got full of feelings. Her voice broke and she got teary while trying to say how bad she felt about the talk. Francis said, "I am so uncomfortable having this conversation because I know what's in my heart, and I know that I don't think anyone is different, better, or worse based on the color of their skin. But I feel like there is nothing any of us can say right now without being judged." This was a super emotional time as she fought to back the president while dealing with a touchy country problem. Co-host Harris Faulkner tried to calm things and move away from the fight. Faulkner said lots of folks were full of feelings back then. She talked about how everyone in the country felt big emotions and said it was fine for Francis to show tears on TV, adding that people cried all over the land because of what happened and the talks about Charlottesville. After the show, Francis went on Twitter to say she got emotional. In her tweet, she thanked lots for their kind words and said she felt bad about getting all teary. Still, her time of losing it on live TV went viral online. But the next Fox News stars got stuck in a gun talk with big yelling. The Five is one of Fox News' most chatted about shows, and co-hosts Greg Gutfeld and Geraldo Rivera once had a super hot fight on TV about gun rules, keeping people safe, and big country problems. It got way past a normal group talk into clear mad feelings and loud voices. The fight started when Rivera shared numbers and ideas about how often and bad gun problems happen in the U.S., while Gutfeld pushed back on how those numbers were used in the talk. Rivera's side focused on the big picture of bad crime, saying Americans dealt with serious and ongoing gun hurts, including sad events that hit families and towns. In answer, Gutfeld hit hard on Rivera's numbers, saying lots of what got called gun problems in news talks was made bigger by adding in gang crime instead of just looking at random public shooting events. The top of the fight came when Gutfeld used strong, mad words against Rivera, saying he twisted the facts and said, "You're being disingenuous. You're saying like all these things are happening all the time, and you're making it sound like people don't care about innocent victims." During the back and forth, Gutfeld kept cutting in on Rivera because he thought Rivera talked too much. It turned into a yelling fight, with Gutfeld shouting, "Let somebody else talk." Rivera didn't stop. and their voices went over each other, with other hosts jumping in to try to fix and get the talk back right. The main fight was from their different thoughts on what makes a good fix for bad crime and keeping people safe in America. Gutfeld's side looked at numbers, and he didn't want big calls for rule changes, while Rivera mostly talked about how guns hurt people and said to fix guns and rules straight on. This put them right against each other in the fight. After the hottest part of the fight, Gutfeld said he and Rivera would keep arguing this until they die because they have a forever split on crime, guns, and keeping safe. Rivera answered, saying they would keep talking as long as you don't shoot me. These Fox News stars lost it on TV from a fight, but the next one cried hard after hearing a work friend had died. When Roger Ailes, the guy who helped start and ran Fox News for a long time, died in May 2017. At age 77, his death made some at the network super sad, and no one thought Janice Dean would lose it on live TV. From this news, as Fox News anchors read the sad news and thought about his big role, Dean got teary on TV, saying how Ailes helped her job. She said, "I wouldn't be here without that man," and remembered when she got sick with multiple sclerosis, Ailes called her himself, saying Fox would help her family anyway because they are all like family. She added he would be missed at the channel, talking about the help he gave her in a hard time. Viewers were shocked that Dean cried on TV from Ailes' death, as she talked about how he gave her real help when she felt weak. But you can't blame folks for being shocked, because around then Ailes was known for bad work claims that even got him kicked out of Fox News. He got pushed out of being boss at Fox after old anchor Gretchen Carlson filed a bad behavior lawsuit in 2016 showing lots of same claims from many women. Ailes said no to those claims then, but it led to checks and big changes in how the network worked and who ran it. To make her feelings even more shocking, Dean has talked about what she went through with Ailes. She remembered times when Ailes did things she later said were not right or good for work, like his weird ask to meet at a hotel and strange words that made her feel mixed up. She said those meets happened, but she got in hot water when she said they weren't super bad. Instead, she called him a mixed-up guy who gave her job chances. While Dean lost it from sad feelings, the next Fox News stars fought so bad their mic got cut when Lauren Duca, a young writer for Teen Vogue then, came on Tucker Carlson Tonight in December 2016 to talk her thoughts on Ivanka Trump and politics. The guest and host fast lost it on live TV. The talk started with Carlson asking about Duca's words on a bad event where mean words went at Ivanka Trump on a plane. It quick became a back-and-forth fight. Duca tried to say clear that no one should get mean treatment, including Ivanka Trump, and that talking bad about the Trump families politics was normal because of their big power. But as Duca tried to talk, Carlson kept cutting her off, pushing her on tweets she wrote about Ivanka and her dad's job as president. He pushed her words and meanings, even looking at her use of words like sinister complicity. Duca answered straight, saying talks about power in politics and rules had to be looked at close. The fight got worse when Carlson changed to hit Duca's work at Teen Vogue, bringing up stories she wrote on Fun Stars and Trends. After reading titles about things like Ariana Grande's thigh-high boots, Carlson brushed off Duca, saying, "You should stick to the thigh-high boots. You're better at that." Duca right away pushed back, saying liking fun trends didn't stop her from serious politics talk. Said, a woman can love Ariana Grande and her thigh-high boots and still discuss politics. Things got worse when the show team fast cut her mic and she hit back at Carlson's last mean word by calling it sexist. The fight didn't stop with live TV. After the talk, Duca went to Twitter and hit Carlson, calling him an enemy of good talk. Meanwhile, Carlson later said he felt bad how the part went and that he lost his cool, while Carlson got in a fight with a guest on TV. The next Fox News stars had a yelling match over a big rule thing. On the Fox News show Hannity, host Sean Hannity and reporter Geraldo Rivera had a talk about people coming to the U.S. and the south border after a young American was thought to have died from an undocumented immigrant. Hannity used the sad death of Pierce Corcoran in Tennessee, a 22-year-old who died in an event cops said had someone in the country wrong to say we need stronger border safety and building a wall. He pushed Rivera saying right to him, we have a 22-year-old who lost his life. Stop. He made it sound like a big life and death thing that needs government help. On the other side, Rivera said the family hurt bad and he felt bad for them, but he didn't like using single sad stories as a way to push rules. He said it was not fair to use those tales to make politics points, and even if sad, it shouldn't mean big rule changes. The talk quick made cut off words and talking over. Hannity kept saying the government must keep U.S. folks safe and do big steps, but Rivera said his point, that leaders should find middle ways and fix coming to U.S. in a full and kind way. Hannity pushed Rivera's words, saying, keeping the border safe was a huge safe thing. As he pushed, he kept asking, how many sad things does it take? Rivera answered that while coming to U.S., rules and sad things with undocumented folks are politics talks, Americans should find fixes together instead of just from fear. Another time Fox News stars lost it live on TV was when Jeanine Pirro and Juan Williams got in a yelling fight over Trump's impeachment. On a show of the five, co-host Jeanine Pirro and Juan Williams got stuck in a tense and yell-full fight over the Democrats' way to impeach President Donald Trump. The fight started when Pirro brushed off the impeachment tries, making fun of Democrat reasons and making small the checks real stuff. Called the impeachment way a bunch of hogwash, telephone, and rumors. She also added they should get over it because it was all hearsay. Williams didn't agree, and he fast pushed back as a big liberal voice. He pointed to poll numbers that showed worry about impeachment and maybe taking Trump out of office. He said an ABC News poll where most folks saw Trump's ask for a other country leader to check a politics enemy as wrong and a small more than half backed impeachment and taking him out. Pirro didn't stop. She turned back to what she saw as media saying they trashed Trump every day and the hearings were just politics. Hits on Trump. Williams answered sharp, pushing her brush off facts and way of seeing the way. When Pirro told him to stop, Williams hit back and said, if you're a judge, you should know better. As the two started yelling over each other panel folks tried to jump in. When Williams tried to say clear that impeachment was from the Constitution, Pirro said strong, do not go there. The two talked over each other, clear mad, and they went into talking over words and loud voices. The five hosts tried to fix the talk. Jesse Waters jumped in during the yelling to move the talk away from right fight and back to their politics talks. This was what let the fight calm down before it got worse. But one time, too, Fox News stars got in a fight so strong they used bad words. On a September 2025 show, co-host Greg Gutfeld and Liberal panelist Jessica Tarlov got in a super strong talk, one of the more shocking fights in Fox News past. The main of their fight was on how to see politics driven bad events and say who is to blame for them. The talk was around the sad attack on conservative guy Charlie Kirk and a bigger talk on if politics driven bad events are mostly a problem on one politics side or for everyone. The fight started when Gutfeld brushed off calls for more facts and said what matters most was the way of bad stuff coming from left-leaning mean folks. He said straight, we don't need more information. What is interesting here is why this is only happening on the left and not the right. When Tarlov pushed the way by saying other big bad events, including the loss of Minnesota State Rep. Melissa Hortman and her husband. Earlier that summer, the talk got fight. Gutfeld said the public feel was different because Hortman wasn't a big name when she died, and Tarlov answered, saying, so she doesn't matter. That point, Gutfeld lost his cool and used bad language on TV. This bad word shocked the room and watchers, and the time quick spread on social media. After their fight, they both calmed. Gutfeld later said sorry to watchers for the TV bad word, saying using bad words on live TV in a hot talk was not right, even if they were in a mad fight. Tarlov also talked, saying she never wanted to make small the sad of these bad events, but to warn against easy answers. She said clear she felt bad about each sad event and wanted careful look before saying why. Even the calmest Fox News star has lost it live on TV, starting with Martha MacCallum. Longtime Fox News anchor Martha MacCallum had a sharp TV challenge from a guest during a part of the story with Martha MacCallum. Snapped back and stuck up for herself in a way that broke from her normal calm way. The talk happened when MacCallum was talking school scores and rule stuff with Randi Weingarten, head of the American Federation of Teachers, during a talk about a Supreme Court case on parents say no rights and LGBTQ school stuff. MacCallum was saying her thoughts on school main things, looking at reading and math scores in schools, but Weingarten kept cutting her off and calling her sweetheart. During the back and forth, Weingarten said, Martha, Martha, sweetheart, sweetheart, listen to me. In a try to turn the talk back to her ideas, MacCallum right away cut her off and didn't like the word, maybe thinking it mean down. She fast said, please don't call me sweetheart. Her words were strong and brushed off, and Weingarten had to say sorry before she kept talking. This time stood out because it was a rare time of MacCallum clear, standing strong and reacting hard to a felt mean from a guest. Watchers and talkers noted MacCallum's answer was fast and straight, and many on social media liked her for setting a line and making strong her job as the asker, not letting a guest talk down to her. And finally, if there's one Fox News star that has lost it a lot on live TV, it's Brian Kilmeade, a longtime co-host of Fox and Friends, who has been in many tense and fight-like TV talks. In those times, he lost patience or started hot feels during live shows and has had to say sorry in public lots of times. In a September 2025 part about the death of a Ukrainian who fled while talking with